Peek inside. Crafton.
How about
on
Kyle
the
Busch,
outside.
Vince?
Kyle Busch around the outside in the gray, and we've got a spinner. It's the 07 of Ray Black Jr., and I think Mason Mingus might have caught a part of that 07.
In, but maybe they get that pushed out and have a chance to have a good run.
Ray Black was by himself there in the middle. Mason Mingus committed to the outside. Ray Black Jr.'s truck slid up the racetrack.
Beat up Austin Dillon's move on Kyle Busch.
Yeah, if he makes a move. Oh, we got another spin. Ray Black Jr. around once again.
That's inside turn 3.
The corner trying to clear Blaney, not able to do it. Austin's going to slide in fourth.
Oh, we got a crash behind these guys. Big crash.
Cody Coughlin, the Jags truck, into this. Ben Kennedy.
Try to come down Fair Road if you can here.
So
We can take a look at what happens here. Look at bottom of your screen. The 54 gets a little bit loose, chases it up the hill, gets by Cameron Haley. Spencer Gallagher does an awesome job getting by. Tyler Young going around the outside. Ben Kennedy tried to go the same route. Unfortunately, Cody Coughlin came up the racetrack right in front of Ben Kennedy.
We talk all the time about how difficult it is to run that bottom without getting loose, and that was a great example of it. Cody probably never been in that position. It's time to go late in the race. Look at him. He dives to the bottom.
It's so inviting down there. He's got a whole lane down there. He knows he can go faster. Unfortunately, just lost that downforce. Caught Ben Kennedy up against the outside wall.
You talk about so inviting. Look at this opportunity he sees. Look, I'm going to dive right here.
All I got to do is get in the throttle. Oh, but I get loose.
Great job by Spencer Gallagher. You saw Spencer was the first truck there. He elected to go low. Both those trucks around Kyle Busch. And look at Johnny Sauter. He's made his way into the battle.
it's a wreck. Crafton and John West Townley getting together.
There you go, good save, keep coming, there's debris over there.
Loose on the inside, and then watch what happens from there.
This gets loose, has to chase it, runs up into Matt Crafton, turns him around. Look at the job Matt does here. Completely sideways up there with no grip.
Unbelievable.
That's some drifting right there. Look at the move Austin Dillon makes to try to grab the lead away from Blaney.
Remember, no out of bounds here at this racetrack.
Watch Crafton. I'm going to win a championship. Oh, no, I'm not.
That reminds me of the synchronized spinning we had with Johnny Sauter and Ron Hornaday at Kansas a few years ago.
Did you see those back tires? He had them lit up trying to keep that thing out of that wall.
If Crafton ends up winning another championship, he's going to look back at this race because there could have been...
Kyle says, good job, Jerry. That's Jerry Baxter, his crew chief. Looks like Spencer Gallagher has another truck issue as he clapped. See what happened. Racing alongside Reddick.
Cameron Haley on the outside. Who just gave Spencer Gallagher a shot in the back end.
Looked like Gallagher tried to cover the spot that Haley was committed to. You can see Haley's trying to get to the outside.
Watch the back of this truck when he gets air underneath it.
Remember, this is already the backup truck for the 23. They had to go to the backup in practice.
Speaking of the backup, wow, back of that truck up in the air.
You see the roof flap bouncing, but not coming up like it's supposed to.
9 of Chase Elliott. Regan Smith, well, we've lost Tommy Dreesy at the top of turn 5, exiting turn 5. And usually when you see that, the driver's been helped.
Happened just after he came by the entrance. You can see that tire goes down as he's trying to make that last corner.
Did not pit on the opening cycle, and that put him in a very prominent 6th position, and then it all just went away from him. It was a reasonable opening day. However, he was extremely frustrated with qualifying. And then this, while we're in the break, Bubba Wallace lost it all by himself going into turn 9 at the top of Thunder Valley, and he was able to successfully navigate his way out of there. Yeah, go to work. Look to the left of your screen. Oh yeah, that's Ryan Reed. Ryan Reed into the side of Kenny Habul, the Daytona winner right from the season opener, and he was in the middle of it. Let's go on board the Sun Energy One on board. Have a listen.
Yeah, just as Kenny was trying to power up and get through turn 1, things jammed up. You're back there in the...
Talk us through.
Oh, you can see he just got that right side tires off in the dirt just a little bit onto the strips there. Lost traction completely. Now we'll see where the line is here. You can see the 7 made a great pit stop. Tagliani
trying to turn in to that. Here's Chris Buescher's zest on board as he has to really jam the brakes. You see the contact with Daniel Suarez.
Treated there, his patient champion. He's racing for Laney Roll. Drama for Boris Said. The 54's on the grass, on the downhill slope, on the backside of turn 5. Oof.
Yeah, that could have been possibly where the fluid was or something like that. That they were talking about while we're under caution here. That crop up. You know, when you're only doing it one time, sometimes you can want things a little bit too much. We've got another problem here.
Oh boy, that looks like Ryan Reed. Is it Ryan Reed on the left aisle and Justin Marks? These guys were running in the top 10. They were running 8th and 9th. Drag up the long hill to turn 2, the keyhole. Bubba Wallace and Brian Scott going at it. Chase Elliott defends from Elliott Sadler. Whoa, and look at Wallace. Wallace is on the grass. And does he hit his Roush Fenway teammate? No, he doesn't. But there's, oh, look at this. There is a huge collision. Kenny Habul, Tommy Dreesy in it. And the 33 as well.
You got Brandon Jones there, right in the middle.
On that run, look a little bit to the left of your screen. Look towards the back there. And this is it.
Yeah, and things started getting jammed up here in front. You can see everybody in Kenny Habul there had to start slowing down, tried to avoid, but he made the first contact there.
He took evasive action, but in the end, unfortunately, he hit his JGR teammate, Boris Said.
Yeah.
Look at that monster car, center of your screen, the black car. Look further back. There's Kenny Habul. Goes, trying to go up the inside, then came switching back across. Collected Boris, and there's Tommy Dreesy, last to arrive on the scene. This is on board with Kenny Habul.
Yeah, looks like he might get off course here just a little bit. Let's see if he does that as he tries to come back on as they slow down. See, he gets off, and then, yeah, as he tries to brake hard, the car's just out of control, gets in Boris Said, and then things stack up from that point.
And at the back,
around early into the apron is the 55. David Ragan slides onto the apron, back up in front of the field.
Get it spun around here.
Turn 1, David Ragan in the 55.
So he's on the bottom of the racetrack. The car just comes around. That's the car on the outside of you is always pulling air off. And when you have these great big spoilers and you have these rear fascias, the change between being behind somebody and next to somebody is really, really big. So it just pulled all the downforce off the car, and David Ragan lost it.
You know, what happens when you put this big rear spoiler on the car is you depend on a lot of side force, which is basically the right rear quarter panel. You're leaning against it like a crutch. You're leaning on it in the corner. But when a car goes to your outside, what do? They kick that crutch out from underneath you. You lose the grip, the right rear slides, and that's what you saw with David Ragan. He started to spin to the bottom.
And he was loose. I mean, he was loose almost before he even got to the corner. It really, really early in the corner, he was loose. And think about it. This is on a start. They're not running 199, 198 miles an hour yet. This is on the start of the race. So it looked like to me that Edwards never got going. He just didn't get going for some reason. Trouble.
And behind him, they're sliding around. The 15 of Clint Bowyer can't afford to have a bad finish. Kicks into the inside wall.
Get it rolling when you can. Get it rolling when you can.
Little damn turns.
Yeah, right here in the middle of the pack, the 15 car trying to find some room, trying to make it 3 wide. Thinks he's clear up to the right, starts to move up against the wall. Ryan Newman's there, catches him in the right rear quarter panel, turns him into the outside wall. From there, it's just a slide back to the inside.
He tried to let off the brakes, get it turned. He knew he was going to hit that inside wall. He tried to get it off. He's back in the gas right there, but couldn't keep it off the inside wall. And again, as you mentioned, 15 car and Clint Bowyer, they do not need a bad race. They were running well. The performance was good. But this wreck is really going to hurt their opportunity to make the chase.
He was running 11th when the accident happened. 63 points ahead of 17th. So he's got a little bit of cushion, but he's way too close to that cut line for a problem.
You see him miss a little bit underneath the 42. Yeah, I think they hit. I don't think he tried to go to the outside of the 42. I think they made contact, and that moved him up to the outside. You saw him turn the wheel the other way after he got hit the right rear quarter panel.
Officially 19 people, and it seems like that crowd has gotten even bigger since I counted. So obviously it's pretty important to get this car back out there.
Possibility of a championship. Tony Stewart sliding out of turn number 4. And the caution comes out again.
He was one of those cars that were...
Gets up the racetrack, just gets loose. Car comes around, stays in the throttle to keep him going up against the wall. Then he locks it down, never hit anything.
And no one hit him. A one-car incident that brings out the 7th caution of the day. 10 is the record number of cautions at Michigan. We still have 64 laps to go.
You know, there's a skill to this. He is once he got out of control, he didn't quit driving. You saw 21 get in the wall trying to avoid him, but Tony didn't quit driving. He stayed in the throttle. Once he had the car in a position.
You see a green line, that means that they have won. And around goes to 48. Jimmie Johnson around again.
Looks like he has damage on the right front.
Beneath the car as well. Take another look at what happened.
Just lost it all by himself, like we saw Tony Stewart do, very similar. They got in the grass, and the grass is what damaged the nose. So he lost it all by himself, and the penalty for being in the grass, it just destroyed the front end, much like we saw with Kyle Busch in practice. But you know, this team isn't in sync. They're not running well. They don't have the speed. They're making mistakes. You know, they've found a way every year